Hello everyone, this is part 7 of What If Naruto Had Two Bloodlines, and I hope you guys enjoy this video and to like, to subscribe, to share, and check out the playlist, to see more comment down below. Now let's start the intro.
They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god.
Join my membership, the perks are great. It's in the description. Be sure to like and subscribe, it gives me more motivation. Enjoy. The 6th day of training out of Fencounter Forest. The sun was coming up, shining on a sleeping Naruto. As Naruto lay there, he began to have nightmares of Zabuza and the masked hunter Nin. He could hear Zabuza's evil laughter in the background as the masked hunter Nin closed in on him. He came closer and closer until he was right on him. Back at Tazuna's house, it was evident that Naruto was not back yet. Breakfast was being served, but there was still plenty for everyone. Naruto was tossing and turning as his nightmare continued. A hand slowly inched its way towards him, until it was at his tea. Suddenly the hand reached out, and shook him awake. Wake up. You'll catch a cold sleeping in a place like this. It was the sweetest wake-up call Naruto had ever received. He opened his eyes to something entirely unexpected. He sat up and wiped his eyes, thinking that what he was seeing couldn't be real. Naruto, who are you? Haku, I'm collecting a few of these plants, do you think that you could hand me that one there? Naruto, is this the one you want? Naruto grabbed one of the surrounding flowers that he had been laying on and handed it to the girl, who was probably the prettiest one he'd seen by far. Naruto, sir, what do you want with this plant? He continued to pick the remaining flowers as he saw the girl do the same. Haku, it can be used as medicine. Thank you for your help. Naruto, no problem. It's no trouble at all, I'm more than happy to help. Naruto continued to coherently babble as his nervousness got the better of him. He finally got a hold of himself as his curiosity began to grow about this mysterious new girl. Naruto, you sure a working early lady. Haku didn't seem to be upset even the slightest bit about the fact that Naruto mistook him for a girl. He wasn't exactly going for that when he was getting ready this morning, but that just helped him conceal his true identity. Haku, you too, what are you doing here at this time of the morning? Naruto, training. I have to get stronger, flexing his muscles. Haku, you, that forehead protector, could you possibly be a ninja? Naruto, you noticed. Yeah, I'm a ninja. Haku just smiled, which caused Naruto blush slightly more than he had already been. Still smiling, Haku said. Haku, you look very strong, so why are you training? Scooting a little closer. Naruto blushed, but then he spoke up. Naruto, even though I may look strong, I still want to become stronger. One day I'm going to become the best ninja in my village. I'll make everyone acknowledge my strength. And right now I need to prove something to someone. Haku, is it for someone else, or for you? Naruto seemed to be confused by the question, but Haku couldn't help but find his expression a little funny. Hearing the laughter, Naruto began to become a little upset. Haku, don't get mad, what I mean is, do you have someone who is important to you? Naruto, important to me. Just what is she trying to say? What do you mean? Haku, when a person has something to protect that is important to them, that is when they can truly become strong. Naruto started remembering how Kakashi had vowed not to let any of his comrades and Tazuna's story. He then smiled and nodded. Seeing this caused Haku to do the same as well, because Naruto evidently understood his point. Haku stood up and packed his things to leave. As he wanted to say one more thing to Naruto. Haku, you'll become strong one day, I can tell. Let's meet again sometime. Naruto, sure thing. Smiling and blushing, maybe before I leave I'll try and find you. Hey, what's your name anyway? Haku just continued to walk off in the distance. Naruto figured that she just didn't hear him. It didn't really matter, because if he wanted to find her, he'd just search for her chakra signature. A name would help make things easier though. As he was thinking this, the girl was getting further and further away, and Sasuke was getting closer. He also noticed that Sasuke looked at her as she walked by, but continued in Naruto's direction. Sasuke, what are you still doing out here? You missed breakfast, you know. Naruto, I was training when I met that cute girl. I also saw the way that you looked at her. You showed her more attention than you have any other girl. Even more than Sakura, and she's on our team. Sasuke simply ignored what Naruto had said so that he could get to some training of his own. Naruto, hey Sasuke. Sasuke, what? Naruto, do you think Sakura would get mad if I told her that I met a really pretty girl? Sasuke, why would she care? Naruto, because I made plans to meet her again. Sakura, where's Naruto? She and Kakashi were walking through the woods on the way to their training area. Kakashi, he left by himself again last night. Sakura, he keeps missing breakfast. Also, Sasuke goes off on a walk and doesn't come back. Just then a kunai landed at their feet, causing them to look up to where it came from. It was Naruto, and he was now lying on the highest tree limb with a goofy smile on his face. He had just a few more feet until he was at the very top of the tree. Sakura, wow, he can already climb that high. Naruto, what do you think? Look at how high I can climb now. Naruto then tried to stand up but lost his balance and began to fall. Both Kakashi and Sakura were worried that if he fell from that height, then, as it looked like it was going to be a nasty fall, Naruto managed to save himself and was now hanging upside down using only his feet. All was good, for about 2 seconds until he ran out of chakra and began plummeting towards the earth. Sakura and Kakashi looked on in horror, but were relieved once again when Sasuke grabbed a hold of Naruto by his tail. Sakura, oh, what a relief. Sasuke, you're the best. It's a good thing you were here, otherwise that idiot would be a pancake. Kakashi, these guys are growing pretty well. Naruto, S.A., Sasuke, I'll KU, gritting his teeth. Naruto looked like he was in real pain as he struggled just to say those few words before he passed out. The next day, the 7th day of training. Tazuna, I wanted to ask you this earlier, but why are you still here when I lied about the mission? Kakashi, to abandon your duty isn't very courageous. Below the courageous is nothing. Those are the words of the previous Hokage. That is the shinobi way. Shinobis don't move solely because of money. My body is about back to normal. He was doing one-finger push-ups with both Tazuna and Sakura on his back, and he says that he is about back to normal. Wish I could do that. It was now dinner time, and Naruto and Sasuke were just now making it back from their training. Tazuna, oh, you guys are finally back, but you look all worn out. Naruto, both of us did it, we both made it to the top. Both looked exhausted, but Naruto looked like he had nothing left to give as he struggled to heave out the words. Kakashi, okay, starting tomorrow, you two can also help protect. Tazuna mentioned that he was also tired because he was almost done with the bridge, so Tsunami told him and Naruto not to overdo it. This set her son, Inari, off. Why do you try so hard? No matter how hard you train, you're no match for Gato and his men. No matter what glorious claims you make, or how hard you work, when facing the strong, the weak will only get ked. Inari said as tears welled up in his eyes. Naruto, whatever kid, I'm not like you. I'd hate to be like you, you don't know anything about this country and yet you're so nosy. What the hell do you know about me? I'm different from you, you're always clowning around and acting like a kid. You don't know how hard life can be. He screamed as the tears began to uncontrollably stream down his face. This caused Naruto's attitude to change completely. Naruto, so it's okay for you to pose as the star of a tragedy and cry all day. You just keep on crying, you idiot. You little sissy. It was silent as everyone, especially Inari, was speechless. Sakura, Naruto, don't you think you've said enough? Naruto didn't give any kind of response as he walked away. Later that night, Inari was sitting alone outside when Kakashi came up and asked to join him. Kakashi, Naruto didn't mean any harm with what he said. Sometimes he just doesn't use his head. Your grandfather told us about your dad. Like you, Naruto also grew up without a father. Actually, he's never really known his parents or had a single friend. The truth is, he's had a rougher past than you, but I've never seen him once cry or complain. He's always trying to get people to acknowledge him. For that dream he'd risk his life at any time. He's probably sick and tired of crying. He knows what it really means to be strong, just like your father. Naruto may understand your feelings better than anyone. He doesn't seem to be able to not be concerned about you. Next morning, Kakashi and his squad, excluding Naruto, headed out to the construction site along with Tazuna. They left Naruto in Tsunami's care as he continued to sleep. Sakura, Kakashi-sensei, is it alright to leave Naruto here? He's gonna be pretty mad that we left without him. Kakashi, he pushed his body to the limit, so I don't think that he'll be moving today. As Kakashi and the others neared the destination, there was a knock at the door of Tazuna's house. Kakashi's group arrived at the site to see a horrific scene. Everyone was laid out, either unconscious or s. Upon further investigation, Kakashi came to the realization that Kakashi, this missed, Zabuza. Get ready, here they come. With the word, Sasuke and Sakura prepared themselves. Zabuza, long time no see Kakashi, I see you're still with those brats. And what's this? The boy's still shaking, poor kid. Before anything else could be said, Kakashi's group was surrounded on all sides by many Zabuzas. Sasuke, HMPH, I'm shaking from excitement. Kakashi, go ahead Sasuke. In an instant Sasuke managed to defeat every Zabuza there, revealing them all to be nothing more than water clones. Zabuza, he saw through the water clones. That brat has grown. It looks like you have yourself a rival Haku. Kakashi, looks like my suspicion was right, the kid with the mask, he's obviously Zabuza's comrade, standing there next to him and all. Sakura, he should stop hiding behind that mask and face us. Sasuke, I'll fight him. Tricking us with that stupid act, I hate guys like that the most. Sakura, oh, you're so cool Sasuke-kun. Haku, an impressive young man, even though the water clones only have 1 out of 10th the strength of the original, still very impressive. Zabuza, but we've already gained the advantage, go, show them Haku. Haku disappeared in a whirlwind and attacked Sasuke. Fortunately, Sasuke was able to counter and was now locked in a struggle with Haku. Tsunami answered the door to see 2 men standing there. Are you that Tazuna's daughter? One of the men asked. Tsunami was unsure of what to do. 2 dangerous-looking men were at her door asking for her. Sorry, but you're coming with us, the man in the hat and coat continued. Inari was washing his hands when he heard his mother scream. He ran to see what the matter was and noticed the one of the 2 brutes roughly handling his mother. The one in the coat mentioned that they only needed 1 hostage, so the shirtless guy began to unsheath his sword. He had the intention of killing the little brat but was stopped by Tsunami. She said that she would kill herself if they harmed Inari. This was a lucky break. As they left with his mother in tow, Inari bawled uncontrollably, spouting how weak he was for not being able to stop them. When they were gone, Inari remembered the words of Naruto and Kakashi. This enabled him to pull himself together and go after his mother's captors. He soon caught up to them at the docks and commanded that they return his mother. He charged right for them as if he had no sense or some kind of way to win. The 2 hooligans drew their swords and slashed away. When they were done, to their surprise they had cut up a log. It was obviously the work of a ninja, one that was right behind them with both their victim and hostage. Naruto, sorry for being so late, but I overslept. Besides, heroes usually show up at the last second. He looked at Inari, you did a great job Inari. Thanks to you distracting them I was able to save your mom. Well, if it isn't one of the loser ninjas Tazuna hired, one of them said as they prepared to attack. Naruto stood up and took his staff from the holster on his back. Suddenly, the 2 goons attacked. Naruto put his staff to his side and tossed 2 shuriken at his attackers only for them to block them. The hooligans were now confident that they had the situation in their control, but it was taken away as 2 Naruto swept them off of their feet in one quick motion using their staffs. In what seemed like forever, the 2 floated in the air before, the 3rd Naruto drilled one in the gut using his staff before turning on the other, using the staff like a bat. Both were sent skipping across the water before sinking to the bottom. Naruto turned to Inari and gave a great big smile. He also apologized for the day before, saying that he didn't know that Inari was that strong and left for the bridge. Sasuke and Haku were still in their struggle to see who was superior, trading attack after attack. Zabuza, so, that kid can keep up with Haku at that speed. Kakashi and Zabuza continued to watch on as the 2 fought. Haku, I don't want to have to kill you, but you won't stand down, will you? Sasuke just smirked. Haku, I see, but you won't be able to keep up with my speed the next time. Plus, I've already gained 2 advantages. The first is the water on the ground. And the second is that I have occupied one of your arms. You will now only be able to run from my attacks. He then lifted his left hand and began flipping through hand signs to everyone's surprise. He finished and stomped his foot on the ground. Haku, special jutsu, flying water needles. The water on the ground rose into the air surrounding them and began to take the form of needles. As they flew at Sasuke from every direction, he focused his chakra to his legs. When it was over, Haku noticed that Sasuke was no longer there and retreated to a safer distance. Unfortunately, a shower of shuriken followed soon after. He managed to dodge but was met by Sasuke. Sasuke, you're pretty slow, from now on, you'll be running from my attacks. Sasuke attacked with AS attack but it was blocked. Sasuke then changed it from AS to a toss as he flung his kunai with it narrowly avoided. As Haku ducked to the ground, he was then met with a kick from Sasuke, sending him backwards. Zabuza was more than surprised to see that Haku had lost in speed. Sasuke, looks like I have the advantage in speed. Kakashi, I can't have you underestimating my team by calling them brats. Sasuke is Konoha's #1 rookie, Sakura is the brightest in the village, and the other is the #1 hyperactive knucklehead in the village. Elsewhere, as Kakashi was saying these, Naruto for unknown reasons sneezed and nearly crashed into a tree. Zabuza, hey, Haku, do you realize? At this rate we'll be driven back. Haku, yeah, we can't have that, now can we? Sasuke, what's this chill? Haku stood up and concentrated his chakra. Without warning, the water on the ground began to rise once again. Haku, special jutsu, demonic ice mirrors. Sasuke was now surrounded by a dome of mirrors. Haku simply stepped forward and into one of these mirrors and appeared on every single one. Kakashi and his team were surprised. He had never seen anything like it. Fearing the worst, he made a beeline for Sasuke only to be stopped by Zabuza. Zabuza, hey now, your opponent is me. Against that jutsu, the kid's finished. Haku, well, shall we begin? I'll show you my real speed. Suddenly, Sasuke was caught in a barrage of needles. The only thing he could do was cover himself and hope that it would be over soon. Hearing Sasuke's screams of agony, Kakashi didn't know what to do. If he tried to help him, Zabuza would Sakura and Tazuna. But if he didn't, then Sasuke would surely What a predicament. Sakura couldn't stand it. The more she heard Sasuke scream, the more she felt sick to her stomach. She wanted to rush in and save him, help him, at least shield him from the attacks, but she couldn't leave side. Sakura, I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to leave your side for a little while. He simply nodded in agreement. Sakura ran a few steps toward the dome of mirrors and tossed a kunai, hoping that she could give Sasuke a means of defense. However, it failed as Haku intercepted the kunai. Sakura, oh no, I botched it. Just then, a shuriken flew out of nowhere and blasted Haku in the mask, knocking him from his mirror. Sakura, who? Sasuke, that idiot. Haku, is that the #1 hyperactive knuckle-headed ninja? A surprise attack momentarily saved Sasuke. The smoke that he created to conceal himself began to disperse, revealing Naruto Uzumaki, has arrived. Everything will be fine now that I'm here. The main character of these stories usually shows up in these types of situations and instantly kicks the enemy's ass. Kakashi, that idiot, what kind of entrance was that? He calls himself a ninja. Everyone else, excluding Sasuke, Haku, and Zabuza, were more than happy to see him. Zabuza took this opportunity to hurl a flurry of shuriken at Naruto, but they were stopped by Haku's needles. Haku, Zabuza, please, let me fight these kids my way. Zabuza, so, you don't want me to interfere? You're as soft as always, Haku, I guess that just leaves for you to play with me, Kakashi. Sasuke, soft is right, attacking with needles, yet not aiming them at high damage areas. He's trying not to K me. But what's this jutsu? Having clones in the mirrors all throwing needles? No, it's too fast for that. I can't even see where they're coming from, and if it was just a clone jutsu, why the mirrors? These mirrors serve some kind of purpose in this attack. Well, with me on the inside and Naruto attacking from the outside. Naruto, hey, I came to save you, whispering to Sasuke. Hearing Naruto's voice shocked Sasuke from his thoughts and horrified him. Sasuke, You idiot. If you're a shinobi then use your head. Why did you have to come in here? You idiot. Naruto, what did you say? I come to save you and this is the thanks I get. Kakashi, that's Naruto, he comes to help and just makes things worse. If I have to save them, then Tazuna would be in danger, but I can't just leave them. Kakashi went over how he could manage to get around Zabuza, but was having a tough time coming up with anything other than. While Naruto and Sasuke were squabbling, Haku to this opportunity to jump back into one of his mirrors. Sasuke, so that is the real one. Haku, over here. He was surprised to see that Haku was no longer right in front, but behind him. Sasuke, fine. Then I'll just destroy these mirrors. If these mirrors are made of ice, then, fire style, Grand Fireball Jutsu. He let out a huge fire attack that engulfed all of the mirrors in front of him, but it did nothing. Haku, you can't melt this ice with that level of fire attacks. Haku went on the attack and once again, his victims could do nothing more than cover themselves. As they both went down, Haku couldn't help but think that there was something unusual about Naruto. He just couldn't quite put his finger on what it was. Naruto plus Naruto, Dragon Wave. Two Narutos were standing outside on different sides of the ice prison attacking with some kind of attack. The attack caught Haku off guard and surprised him even more as it destroyed mirror after mirror. When it was done, Haku laid on the ground motionless. Naruto collapsed to one knee as he was completely exhausted. His other clone dispersed on its own because of his current condition. Everyone was shocked at what had just transpired, but no one more than Zabuza. I am impossible. He beat Haku. There's no way. Kakashi took this opportunity to defeat Zabuza as he stood in disbelief. However, he couldn't get anything more than a scratch from his chest to his abdomen. Zabuza was in denial but he was no novice. Once more he looked in Naruto, Haku, and Sasuke's direction now and raged that it was over. Naruto got up and walked over towards Sasuke to make sure that he was alright when the ice mirrors reformed, this time entrapping Sasuke and the real Naruto. Naruto tried his Dragon Wave once more, but it was useless. He didn't have enough chakra to put into the attack. He managed to break a few of the mirrors but they just reformed. Haku, nuisance. Haku launched another wave of needles that could have torn both Naruto and Sasuke to ribbons. Sasuke, WHI, which one's the real one? Haku, trying to follow with your eyes is impossible. You'll never be able to catch me. Naruto, I'm not sure. I only sense one chakra signature, but it's all over the place. Sasuke, what? Naruto then created a few shadow clones and charged at any mirror he could, hoping that he would catch Haku at one of them. As he tried, every clone was destroyed one by one before another needle assault rained down on the two. Haku, this jutsu uses the mirror's reflection to transport me. From my point of view you look like you're moving in slow motion. Kakashi, I knew it. For a kid to master a jutsu like that, an advanced bloodline. A deep lineage, superior genealogy, it's jutsu passed down from the ancestors. Sakura, then. Kakashi, yeah, you could compare it to my Sharingan. Even I couldn't copy it. It's very difficult to defeat. Naruto, I can't here, I have a dream to fulfill. Haku, becoming a true shinobi is difficult for me. If possible, I don't want to have to K you. Nor do I want you to have to K me, but if you come at me, I will have to destroy my kind heart with a blade and become a true shinobi. This bridge is where we fight, to connect to our dreams. Me for my dreams, and you for yours. Please, don't hate me. I want to protect someone precious to me. To work for that person. To fight for that person. To make that person's dreams come true, that is my dream. For that, I can become a shinobi, and K you. Sasuke just smiled. Sakura, Sasuke. Naruto, don't lose to that guy. Kakashi, Sakura, don't egg him on. Even if they could defeat that technique, they can't beat that boy. Sakura, what do you mean? Kakashi, they don't yet have the strength to destroy their hearts, and K another person. That young man knows the true pain of being a shinobi. Zabuza, a real shinobi can't be created in a peaceful village like yours, because you can't gain the most important thing, the experience of king. Sakura, then what can we do, sensei? Kakashi, sorry but, I'm going to have to end this quickly. Kakashi began to lift his forehead protector, revealing his Sharingan. Zabuza, hey, Sharingan, is that all you can do? Zabuza did a series of hand seals and jumped back a distance as more and more mist began to roll in. This, however, was unlike the mist Kakashi encountered in their previous battle. It was much thicker. Kakashi, you asked if it's all I can do, but you're afraid of the Sharingan, Zabuza, why else would you come up with something like this? Zabuza, a shinobi's supreme technique, is not something that should be showed to an opponent over and over. Kakashi could no longer see Zabuza or his silhouette in the thick mist. He couldn't even tell his position from the sound of his voice. Kakashi, you should feel honored, you're the only person to see it twice, but there won't be a third time. Zabuza, even if you manage to somehow beat me, you can't win against Haku. Ever since he was a little kid, I taught him all kinds of fighting skills. Even against the strongest opponents he's won. Without a heart, nor fear of death. A fighting machine known as a shinobi. His jutsu even surpassed my own with that terrifying, advanced bloodline. I gained a high-quality tool for myself, unlike the scrap that follow you around. Kakashi, there's nothing more boring than a man's bragging. Let's hurry up and get this over with. Zabuza, hey, I've been waiting to use this line, the same jutsu won't work on me twice. In the previous fight, I wasn't just getting beat like an idiot, I had Haku hiding and examining every aspect. Haku is also bright. By seeing a technique once, he can usually come up with a way to defeat it. The way to defeat your Sharingan is right before you, mist so thick that you can't even see your hand if it were right in front of your face. Naruto, we've got to come up with something. All we're doing is running around. Sasuke, be quiet and get up, I can't keep watch over you two. Another attack is coming, just try to avoid a serious wound. There must be a limit to his chakra, he's starting to slow down. Just then Haku threw more needles at them and one lodged itself in Sasuke's knee. Kakashi, Sakura, protect Tazuna-san. Running further into the mist. Sakura, yeah, believe in Sasuke and worry about my own job. Kakashi, this mist is really thick, Zabuza shouldn't be able to see anything either. As he finished, a flurry of attacks came from out of nowhere as Zabuza finally revealed himself. Zabuza, impressive that you could block those, Kakashi, but the next time you see me, will be the end of everything. You have overrated your Sharingan too much, disappearing into the mist. Kakashi, what? His eyes were closed. Zabuza, Kakashi, that time, you acted as if you knew everything. But your prediction was wrong. You can neither read my mind nor see the future. The Sharingan is simply a trick that makes your opponent think that you can. It's basically an eye technique involving hypnotism and an attention to detail. By using those two abilities together, you can progress from copying the body to copying the mind to copying the jutsu. This way, you can make it seem like you can see the future. First, with that keen eye you copy my movements and shake up my mind. Once I'm confused, you are able to figure out what I'll say and become me. Then, once my worry and confusion reaches its peak, you attack with a clever trick. Through hypnotic genjutsu, you suggest what seal I should perform and simply copy it. Zabuza then sent Kakashi stumbling backwards through the mist. Zabuza, it's simple really. First, with this mist I make that keen eye of yours useless. If I keep my eyes closed, then I remove the chance of being hypnotized. Kakashi, what's the point? You can't see either. Zabuza, have you forgotten? I am the genius at Silent King, taking the enemy down by just their sound. Kakashi calmed himself in order to think of a way to counter Zabuza's counter. He then realized that he would be targeting. Sakura and Tazuna were anxiously waiting for this entire ordeal to be over, when suddenly Kakashi appeared running towards them. In an instant he lunged in between them and Zabuza, who was now swinging his giant cleaver. All that could be heard was Sakura's screams. Naruto, was that? Sasuke, that was Sakura's voice. What happened? What is Kakashi doing? He struggled to get up as both he and Naruto looked like giant pincushions. Sasuke, my eyes are starting to get used to it. Haku, I keep aiming for vital points, and yet, they keep avoiding them. Especially this boy, Sasuke. He seems to be slowly learning to follow my movements. This boy can see something, you move well, but this time I'll stop you. Sasuke, here it comes. Calm down and concentrate, see through it. Haku attacked, but Sasuke managed to get himself and Naruto out of the way in time. Haku couldn't believe that they had avoided his attack. It was an impossible feat. When Sasuke stood up and turned to Haku, there was something different about him. Haku was taken aback at what he saw. Haku, those eyes. It can't be. Sharingan. I see, you are also from an advanced bloodline. What a guy. It's still not complete, but to awaken that ability during battle. Naruto pulled himself up a little to also witness Sasuke's new Sharingan. Sasuke could only see a little, but it would have to do. If the battle continued to drag on, there's a chance that all three combatants would die of chakra depletion. Haku, if this continues this way, then you will undoubtedly be able to read my movements. Attacking him head-on could be dangerous. Instead, I think I'll use the other kid to bring him to me. He went right for Naruto, but Sasuke could see this and tried to intervene. Blood was pooling on the ground as Kakashi's newly received wound was getting to him. Zabuza, you were too slow, Kakashi. Did your desire to save these brats cloud your mind and make this mist even thicker? Even with that eye of yours, your ability to read my movements is dimming. Let me have some more fun. Haku has probably already killed those other two brats. Since I'm about to send you to the same place, you can apologize in the next world for lacking the strength to protect them. Sakura, Sasuke won't be beaten by a guy like that so easily. Naruto too. Kakashi agreed. Kakashi, I believe in their strength, Naruto's determination, and Sasuke of Konoha's most outstanding clan. Zabuza, you can't mean, but I thought they were all wiped out. Kakashi, no. His name is Sasuke Uchiha. A genius with the advanced bloodline of the Uchiha clan running through his veins. Naruto stood in disbelief as Sasuke stood before him, blood pouring from many different wounds. For some reason he had jumped in to save Naruto, but why? Zabuza, like that makes a difference. No one has ever defeated Haku's special jutsu. It's as good as over. Zabuza faded into the mist once again, leaving Kakashi, Sakura, and Tazuna to ponder the fate of Sasuke and Naruto. Sasuke, geez, all you ever do is get in the way. Looking back at Naruto, what's with that face, moron? Naruto, why did you save me? I didn't ask for your help, I could have avoided the attack myself. Sasuke, how should I know? I hated you, but my body just moved on its own, idiot, collapsing into Naruto's arms. Sasuke, that man, I'm the only one that can defeat him, my brother, I told myself I wouldn't until I killed him, don't also. Seeing Sasuke fade right before him caused Naruto to start to cry. Then he heard rustling across the way. It was Haku. Haku, he managed to land a blow on me without flinching, while trying to protect you. To protect an important person, knowing it was a trap, he was able to still intervene. He was quite impressive. He is someone who deserves respect. Is this the first friend that you have witnessed? That is the shinobi way. Haku prepared himself for another attack and entered the nearest mirror. Naruto, I won't forgive you. I won't forgive you. I won't forgive you. Something was happening to Naruto. Red chakra began to leak from his body until it completely covered him. His appearance also morphed as his eyes began to turn red with a stead pupil. The whisker-like marks on his face began to broaden, his hair became wilder, and his nails grew out like claws. He now looked more beast than man. Naruto, I'll kill you. Kakashi, it looks like he disappeared again. Sakura, stay here, it looks like I have to put an end to this fight once and for all, can you hear me, Zabuza? You seem to think that I have survived in this world only because of the Sharingan. I am a former member of the Anbu, special military assassin team. That's the kind of ninja I used to be, not just copying, I'll show you my own jutsu. Naruto's red chakra was now swirling around him and destroying everything in range. Haku, what is this chakra? It's impossible for the chakra to change like this, and such evil chakra at that. Haku then noticed that Naruto's wounds had healed and the fact that there was now an intense pressure of king intent filling the air. Haku, what is this boy? Kakashi and Zabuza both took notice of Naruto's transformation. Even though they could not see it, they could feel it. Kakashi, is that Zabuza? No, this terrible chakra. It can't be. Zabuza, what's this chakra? Something's not right, Kakashi. No, it's too strong to be him. Kakashi, Naruto. This is bad, could the seal have broken? This feeling, it's alright, the seal hasn't completely broken. But the seal is weakening and the Kyuubi's chakra is leaking out. In a drastic predicament, Kakashi decided that it called for a drastic solution. He removed a scroll from one of his vest pockets, wiped up some of his blood with his thumb, and spread it across the scroll as he opened it in one swift motion. Kakashi, Zabuza, can you hear me? I've got a proposal for you. What do you say we finish things now? Zabuza, HMPH, sounds interesting, what can you do in this situation? Why don't you show me Kakashi? Naruto's transformation seemed to be complete as he charged for Haku. Haku tried to put a stop to this by throwing needles at him, but with a single roar, Naruto blasted the needles out of the air. Haku, what her intent? He's totally different than. Before he could finish his sentence Naruto had said through the ice mirror. Luckily for Haku, he jumped to a different one just in time. Haku, he deflected my attack with chakra. He's too dangerous, I have to take him out now. Naruto seemed to be confused about where Haku had disappeared to. He had been in the mirror right above him and tried to take advantage of the situation and end things right there. Naruto dodged this attack by doing a barrel roll through the air, and as he landed he charged for Haku, burning rubber along the way. Haku, damn, I gotta get to the next mirror. He was so close, but that wasn't good enough. Naruto had grabbed him by his wrist and yanked him away from the nearest mirror. Haku couldn't believe it as Naruto seed back, ready to deliver a bone-crushing punch. His destructive chakra whipped around, causing havoc and mayhem to the surrounding area as the ice mirrors began to crumble. Finally, came the meteoric punch. It caused a powerful shockwave that shattered all of the mirrors, except for one. Haku broke it with his body as he was sent flying through the air after a truly devastating punch. When he finally touched down, his travel plans still were not done as he skipped across the pavement a few more meters. He came to a stop and groggily picked himself up, but to his horror, Naruto had caught up to him and was about to deliver another face-crushing blow. Haku knew he could not evade the attack. He knew that this was it, the end. As he was about to give the finishing blow, Haku's mask fell to pieces, revealing his true face. This stopped Naruto in his destructively chaotic tracks. Naruto had stopped inches away from completely seeing in Haku's beautifully handsome face. Naruto, you're from that time. Haku, why did you stop? I killed your precious friend, yet you won't kill me. Naruto looked back at his fallen comrade and punched Haku. It wasn't as painful as the previous one, but it still packed quite a wallop. Haku, what happened to your intensity? You can't kill me with that. There are people who make this mistake. They don't kill their enemy because of pity, letting them leave with just their lives. Can you understand, not having a dream, not being needed by anyone, the pain of simply living? Naruto, just what are you saying? Haku, Zabuza no longer has any need for me, a weak shinobi. You have taken away my reason for living. When a person has something precious to protect, that is when they can truly become strong. Naruto, why? Why for a guy like that? He's a bad guy who takes money from a criminal. Is that eyebrowless freak the only important person you have? Haku became quiet and a look of sadness crossed his face before he responded. Haku told Naruto of those that were once very dear to him, his parents. He told Naruto of the small, snowy village he was born in and how happy his life was, until that day. One day he discovered his advanced bloodline, and to his dismay, it led to the death of his mother. Shortly after the end of his mother, by his father, Haku was to be next. Out of fear, Haku's ability activated, saving his life. Due to the resentment and wars raged on those like Haku with an advanced bloodline, Haku left home and ran into Zabuza. They had been together since. Naruto was shocked. He didn't know what to think. Haku then turned his sights to Sasuke. Haku, that young man must also have experienced many hardships. Those with special abilities are often feared. My mother was one of these bloodlines. My father discovered this. When I realized what I had done, I had killed him, my own father. At that time I thought of myself as, no. I had no choice but to think that. And I realized the most painful thing, that in this world, I am a person who is unwanted. Naruto, the same as me. Naruto reflected on Haku's words and the terrible childhood he had gone through. Haku, You said you wanted to become the best ninja in your village and have everyone acknowledge you. Now if someone who acknowledged you from the bottom of their heart appeared, wouldn't that someone become the most important person to you? Zabuza took me in knowing I was a person of the advanced bloodline. This blood that everyone hated, he desired it, I was so happy. As he finished, he began to tear up. He then reminisced of the good times with Zabuza. When he first met him, Zabuza claimed him when no one else would. Though he just wanted to use him as a tool, it was better than not being wanted at all. Haku, I'm sorry Zabuza, I was unable to become the weapon you sought, tears D-Sping, Naruto, please, Kami. Kakashi was going through a few hand seals and slammed his hand into the ground. Kakashi, ninja art, summoning jutsu, earth tracking fang jutsu. Nothing happened. Zabuza, HMPH. Nothing you do will make a difference. You can't figure out where I am, but I know exactly where you are. You're trapped by my. Before he could finish his sentence, however, his attention was diverted by rumbling underground. Suddenly, a pack of rabid dogs lunged at him, clenching their jaws tightly shut. Hearing the growls, snarls, and barks, Sakura and Tazuna began to worry. Kakashi, if I can't see or hear you, then I'll just use my nose. This summoning is specifically for tracking down an opponent. Since this mist was causing trouble, this was the best solution to putting an end to this. The reason why I was so slow earlier was because I purposely wanted to soak your weapon with the scent of my blood. Not to mention when I managed to cut you, I have your blood as well. Kakashi walked through the mist and into the sight of Zabuza. He had dogs hanging all off him. Kakashi placed his hands together, and it was clear that he was planning on finishing things with his next jutsu. Kakashi, these are my cute nin dogs. Their sense of smell is greater than that of any other dogs. You're now trapped in my jutsu. Your future is death. Zabuza, my future is death. I'm sick of your false premonitions. Kakashi, don't be foolish, there's nothing you can do in this situation. Your death is certain now, you went too far, ambition too great. You abandoned the village of Mist and became a missing nin, your story even reached Konoha. Your attempted coup d'état and assassination attempt on the Mizukage both failed. You needed money for revenge and also needed to avoid the hunter nins, that's probably when you attached yourself to SC like Gatu. He made a few hand signs and electricity began to surge from his hand. Seeing this before his eyes, Zabuza was most shocked. Kakashi, lightning edge. Zabuza, enough chakra that it's visible around his hand. Kakashi, you're too dangerous. The man that you are trying to K is this country's courage. The bridge he seeks to build is its hope. Your ambition SS too many people. That's not what a shinobi should do. I'll ask once more, will you surrender? If you don't, your future is death. Haku, hurry up and Kami, why are you hesitating? Naruto, I don't understand. Is being strong the only reason you have for being alive? Something other than fighting, you could have been acknowledged for something else. Haku, the day that I met you in the forest, I thought you were like me. You should be able to understand, I'm sorry that you will have to stain your hands. Naruto, this can't be the only way. Haku, yes, you were more than willing just a short while ago. Remember the pain and just follow through. Naruto, I can't. Even after what you did to Sasuke, I don't think I have it in me to just take your life. We got along pretty well when we were picking flowers. It's not every day that someone, much less a pretty girl, is so nice and friendly with me. Haku, Naruto, there's something that I need to tell you. I don't think that it's quite settled into your brain yet, but I'm not a girl, I'm a boy. Naruto, fart, but he's cuter than Sakura-chan. You mean to tell me that I have a crush on? Never mind. How could I not see it from when we met in the forest? I knew it was strange that a local girl had a chakra signature. I even thought it was strange that the signature seemed familiar. I'm still not sure if I can do it, but if that's what you want then, it's probably for the best. Haku, please fulfill your own dreams, closing his eyes, awaiting the end. Naruto, Sasuke, also had a dream, but now, looking back at Sasuke's lifeless body. He pulled out a kunai, grasped it firmly, and slowly advanced on Haku. Naruto, if we'd met under different circumstances, we might have been friends. Haku, thank you, that means a lot coming from you. Naruto's pace quickened. He was now charging at Haku at full speed, kunai ready to el Haku's heart. The QB rears its ugly head and shatters a dream. The battle is drawing to a close. See. That will be all for this video. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, and comment down below for more videos. Goodbye.